So we get some phone calls where the complaint or the issue is the treadmill shuts off mid-workout. What normally we see here, of course you probably already guessed what I'm going to say with one of them, but a lot of the times it's not an issue with high amp draw due to a worn belt and deck, although it could be. What we see a lot actually are just straight up communication issues, and especially in some treadmills that are prone to get penetration with sweat through the console, we see a lot of failures in the micro switch in this stop assembly. So what will happen is you'll be running along, bang, 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 bang on the treadmill, and the mast of the treadmill, the pedestal will be shaking, and this switch, being a normally closed switch, it will open up, and just like you're pressing it, and the treadmill will stop because this closed circuit that runs through this switch right here, it opens up for a split second because the contacts in the switches are oxidized due to sweat penetration, and it shuts the treadmill off. So you might want to check this guy and make sure this is operating correctly. And another thing I like to do is run the treadmill, get it up to speed, don't have anybody on it, and just start bang on this a little bit. And if you got a problem in here with some sort of connection, it'll stop. And then you know it's in here. Another issue we could have is a loose data cable, or if the treadmill has just been moved, it could be a pinch data cable to where you've just put it back together, something along those lines. So it could be just a communication issue, which is fine because you don't have to get into a lot of troubleshooting. It should be pretty easy to find. And what's happening is, because you have a bad connection in here, the vibration and the shock from walking and running on it is simply causing a communication glitch that shuts the treadmill down. And it'll just reset itself, okay? It's simply the same as if you press the stop key. Now, another way a stopping issue can show itself is if the treadmill completely shuts off to where you have to reset it at the front if it has a circuit interruption device like a circuit breaker or fuse. And that is a lot of the time due to high amp draw due to belt deck friction. So again, do the dead walking breakaway test. Make sure that the belt is sliding evenly and with little effort when you stand on it and push off it, okay? As I said in the previous video, this treadmill is in really good shape. So what happens is this belt is generating a lot of friction, so just as if this belt was really difficult to push, for me, it's going to be very difficult for the motor to push a person down this belt and deck. So the motor is in turn going to work harder, draw higher amps, and then of course there is a built-in current limiter in these motor control boards, and it will cut out. You will hit the current limiter, the treadmill will shut off, and you will have to reset it. So if it's not a simple communication error, check out the belt and deck. It could also be a loose wire somewhere in the power entry, but generally when these wires are very big, and you know, they just don't come undone, and they're out of the way and covered up enough that sweat will not penetrate down in this area of the treadmill. But it's something to check. You know, you want to see if it's an intermittent problem or if it's a hard error where the treadmill is shutting itself off. Also check and see if you have any error codes, because they're important, especially to the manufacturer, if you need to call in and troubleshoot your treadmill over the phone. Thanks.